Good sequels are hard to come by. It's hard to capture the magic of the first movie that was so successful. And so that direction most movies take leaves fans disappointed. But Kung Fu Panda 2 is not one of these movies. This is what sequels should be. This movie is freaking awesome, and here's why. The events of this movie occur because of a quote that Uguay said. One often meets his destiny on the road to avoiding it. The antagonist created this Poe that could stop him. If he didn't order the massacre, Poe doesn't go to the Valley of Peace and learn all that he needs to in order to become the Dragon Warrior, the very being capable of beating him. That's what makes this a great sequel. It borrows from the first movie while adding to the world in a congruent manner. And maybe it's better to say it doesn't stray far from all the things that made the first movie work. The animation is still top tier and holds up as well. I just love how they lean into the 2D animation more. Whenever Poe has a vision or dream, the animation changes to 2D and it's just beautiful. And it's just a beautiful drawn art piece. This is what makes animation a great medium. It gives you so many options to increase the level of your visuals. And I love it when a studio takes full advantage of the benefits that a medium provides them. The Kung Fu choreography is still amazing. The difference is how they use it as a device for growth. We get to see how much growth has happened through Kung Fu. Poe is now a master of his craft. He's even celebrated for it. And him and the Furious Five have combo attacks, showing that they have accepted Poe and he is one of them. Their fights are different and more creative. We're not overcoming another Kung Fu master. We're in a situation where Kung Fu can't do much. Doesn't matter if you got hands. These cannons puts us on equal footing. You see the Furious Five try to come up with a plan that's not just let's kick ass. You see them being sneaky. You see them being more than fists and fury. And speaking of seeing more from the Furious Five, I'm happy they spent more time on Tigress. In the last film, she had the most animosity towards Poe. I love that they showed a softer side to her and addressed that hey, Poe has been 100% accepted into the fold. We have a more compelling villain. Tai Lang was great. He was a great martial artist. He was cool as a cucumber, and he had a motive that one could get behind. While nuanced antagonists are great. Sometimes it's more fun to look at a bad guy and say, oh, you're evil, and I'm 100% rooting for your downfall. There's no attempt to make you feel empathy for Lord Shin. He's a man who was exiled for massacring an entire race, and when he comes back, he ends the life of someone. Every time this guy's on your screen, he does something to make you hate his guts. He's a classic villain, a man who's obsessed with power and is so afraid of being stopped to create the thing that stops him. He has traits that all writing teachers will tell you makes for a great villain. 1. Connection to the hero. Lord Shen took out Poe's race and is the reason he doesn't know his parents. His existence is the number one thing blocking Poe from finding inner peace. This means that this time, it's more personal for him, and he becomes heavily invested in stopping the main villain beyond the fact that it's his duty as a dragon warrior. A worthy opponent. Lord Shen is a great martial artist in his own right, incredible swordsman and can go toe-to-toe with Poe, but he has access to weapons that make Poe's greatest strength, Kung Fu, useless. He low-key defeats Poe and has him stumped on what path he needs to take in order to win. Clear morality. It is communicated and clearly explained why Chen does what he does. The audience, through his actions, have a clear view of his belief system. Fun. He's actually very captivating every time he comes onto the screen. Whether it's how hideous his behavior is or the comedy that surfaces. When he interacts with other people, he moves the story forward in a great way. What adds to his greatness as a villain is that he raises the stakes. The issue about the last movie was Tai Lang's goal beyond the Dragon Scroll was never revealed. All we know is that his heart has potential for darkness. But have you ever asked yourself, what terrible thing is going to happen if Tai Lang got his hands on a scroll? In this movie, we know that if Lord Shen wins, the whole of China falls, and the people fall under subjugation of a narcissist who is not only willing to kill an entire race to get what he wants, but is willing to wipe out his comrades as well. And the threat of death is very present in this movie. That's why I love the castle takeover scene so much. He wipes someone out, and you get the message that this time we can lose our heroes. If Lord Chen gets his way, there's more gravity to the consequences. All of this is balanced with great comedy. From his relationship with the fortune teller to his anger at Poe's stupidity, it's amazing to watch. And this comedy goes beyond him. Yes, this film is slightly darker in its tone, but the comedic timing in all of it makes it feel fun. It's rooted in enough reality that an adult can appreciate it, but the comedy in this makes it light-hearted enough that even the kids can enjoy it. Poe has a different arc in this film, and it goes beyond the normal hero's journey. This movie feels like it's less about the dragon warrior and more about Poe the panda. It helps ground Poe as a real character instead of a kid who wanted kung fu powers and got them. You see Poe struggle with identity, especially when the one thing that now makes him who he is might become obsolete. He starts the show being unsure of who he is and ends the show with a better picture of that. He questions the relationship with his father but ends up not forsaking that relationship because he has a better understanding of his biological parents. It's just this beautiful message that sometimes blood doesn't matter, and that if you love each other, that's enough to form a father and son relationship. And I love how this ties into how Poe and Lord Shen look at their relationship with time. One doesn't care about the past and looks forward to crafting his future. The other deeply yearns for the past and feels like he doesn't have a future without understanding it. The writing in this film is like really, really good. And for that reason, I will give this movie a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more content like this.